Okay, you ready? We got 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Grassroot Podcast with myself, PJ, my co-host Winnie, and we are back where it all began.
Where it all began.
This is Winnie's shed that we decided we were going to turn into a pod office, or actually podcast room, wasn't it?
Yes.
And
You realised it wasn't big enough.
no, we had Neil come in and he filmed our first ever episode. He walked in and went, no.
Struggle to get the cameras in here.
Yeah, he did. And we had Winnie got a massive TV, like a 55-inch TV for a 6x4 shed. And all you can see was the back of our heads in it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But we are thankful for the Movember hats because
They're keeping us warm.
it's pretty cold out here.
Look at the hat and look at that's long now, isn't it? It's very blonde, isn't it?
Rocking
Very,
it.
very blonde. Yes, the hat's keeping us warm, and the dry robes. Thank you, Jace. They have been a godsend. As much as when he said we didn't need it, he wore it every day of his life.
I've never been a fan of them until I put one on. And that was the same with Crocs.
Well, there's a subject for the pod then.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Crocs. Is it? No, we're not. No. Today we're going to talk about a couple of things. The first thing is we're 18 minutes away from going on to a Zoom meeting with the Severn Valley League. Not that we've arranged or anything. It's just a sort of AGM to just go over everything and see if anyone's got any problems or anything that they wanted to raise. I think everyone knows what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what Winnie's going to say. I'm hoping that he's here to just take notes of everything.
I'm observing.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah. So we're going to do a two-parter. We're going to
we'll talk before and then we'll talk after.
we're cutting it fine with time and then we'll come back on after.
Don't know how I was here.
We may have some news. We may have some news, but we may not.
No. Well, let's see what they say. It's always good to have these meetings, and it's just another side of what we have to do as coaches. I think so. Anyway, like it's one of the things that people don't realise. There's a lot of meetings.
Yeah.
Turns out now at Broadwell we've decided to do them. I don't even know what the word is. It's not like bi-monthly. It's like every 3 months now because we were doing every month. I love them. It's a social.
It's all right, but sometimes on a Sunday night, you do just want to put your feet up.
Mm.
And because they're at 6:30, if you're watching the 4 o'clock kickoff.
Oh yeah, you get loads of them, stragglers, don't they?
Yeah.
Everyone comes in at about 6:45. Yeah. Yeah, but it's just the way it is. We've got to have these meetings. We've got to keep. Oh, there's a hair or something there, and I've got him. It's just another one of the ones that's falling out.
So I don't do a lot of these ones, to be honest. A lot of them.
Well, this is my first, and I can't wait to meet them all.
Watch it, it'll just be us two.
Yeah. We're here to represent the Grassroot Pod and Broadwell Under 10s.
I'll get them on the pod.
Yeah. So I think, well, one of the things I'm going to obviously talk about is my kids going into a different league. See if it's possible to swap, as we've spoke about on the other pod. But I don't know if it'll come up during the meeting, but I may raise it. Winnie and I have been talking a lot, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we did mention it on the other pod about a league table. Now, for us personally, bear in mind we're both on very different ends of results. So Winnie often wins heavily or wins well. I often lose heavily or lose well. And
it's difficult, isn't it? Because of if your team is at the lower end, some people don't want to see a table. It's difficult, isn't it?
I think, yes, it is. But my big thing is you're in those results anyway. So you experience the result. And sometimes I think we bubble wrap our kids and everything too much in respect of stuff like that. There's no real reason why they shouldn't see this league table. I don't think, personally, as young an age as possible.
Mm.
Because it's always, I think competition breeds excellence, realistically, doesn't it? You don't do well without competing.
No, and from last year then, when you go into the cup competitions, last year it was different to it is this year. This year is just straight knockout.
Right.
Whereas last year we was in a group of 6. Top 2 went through.
And you could see the league table?
And you could see the league table, results was posted, not goal difference, that was in-house. which is not a problem. But you could still see a league table, and all my parents was loving it. We'd be like, "Where are we in the league?"
Yeah.
But I don't understand if we're classed as non-competitive, we still have a competitive cup competition. So surely, I'm not saying that it should, like, under 10 should be competitive, but could there be a chance where you can enter a competitive league maybe? Or you could still post a table so you could still see where you are?
Yeah.
Or even if it was in-house?
Yeah, I think obviously the purpose of a table is to see your position within the league. And I suppose goal difference is to take away any argument if you've got, let's say, for example, you've got the likes of Winnie, your Tuffleys, your Hucklecoats. In fact, I could name every team because they've all beaten us. So, but you'll get a lot of teams that will win a lot, and obviously then goal difference would have to come into play. I don't know if they could do, that we're not allowed to record more than an 8-0, an 8-goal difference. So I don't know if it's possible to do something around that, because that begs the question: if you can't do more than an 8-goal difference, we've had it with Beardo, haven't we?
Yeah.
Cy Michaels had the same, I think.
Yeah.
They both of them have lost, not lost out on goal difference, but if they were able to post goal difference with all their goals, they could have been higher up or lower down.
Because didn't they give them both winners last year?
Yeah, which it's good and bad, isn't it?
Yeah,
it really is good and bad. I don't know, if you're runner up, you're going to love it, aren't you? But like you said, it all boils down to where you are as a team, doesn't it? Yeah, and I don't think that even means inability. I mean, it's like how together you are. Because I know that my boys, whilst we've lost heavily, at times, sometimes we haven't lost so heavily, and that's been lovely. But I think they'd look at that league table, and even though they'd see they've lost all those games, they go, well, we didn't lose that one that bad, and we played really well against them, and it would be quite nice sometimes if you've been beaten 13-0 by somebody per se, and you see their top of the league, you go, well, that's why.
Yeah, not only that, like you've got the group chat, so pretty much everyone posts.
A lot of people post their scores on there, and we ask for scores sometimes. So.
I talk to coaches. We see a couple of coaches on a Monday night at district, and it's not like the results are quiet, if that makes sense. People talk.
Yeah.
So if it was there in front of you, then because you're having these conversations anyway, what I'm trying to get at, so people know the results anyway.
Yeah.
And I just it's such a.
It's quite controversial,
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because like it's non-competitive, but my argument is you have a competitive competition in the cup games.
My phone's doing it again. I apologise.
So, yeah, you can see who wins and who loses in cup games. And like you said, last year we had the table. So what difference does it make for a league?
Do you think they just don't want to have to pay for a trophy? Nobody's asking for a trophy or a winner's medal. Well, we're certainly not, are we? It's just, sometimes it's just nice to say, yeah, we finished top there. And also, so from my point of view, I'd imagine we're bottom of the table right now. In fact, I know we will be. So we'd be bottom of the league. And it would give us something to see. Not that I will argue tonight, but but do you know what I mean? You'd have a little bit of backup because when I go to talk to the league now, I'm going to say, well, I'd like my team to be able to drop down. And if they say, well, no, they don't need to drop down, that's not necessary, I can say, well, we're at the bottom of the league. We've lost every single game, and whether they post the scores or not, whatever. But
they will still see the scores.
They'll see the scores. But what I'm saying is, like, we personally, if we could, even if it's just for coaches, because on my full time, obviously, I'm as player for Whitecroft still. First and second. So I'm player for Whitecroft, and then I'm parent for Preston.
Yeah.
But I'm also coach for Broadwell Blues, and coach for Broadwell Clarets.
Yeah.
So could it be that if you've got coach role, because coaches are able to edit stuff on full time, would coaches be able to see the table? So only like parents couldn't go on there. Parents could come and ask the coach by all means, but if coaches could see it, just so we've got something where like I say, mainly because of the situation I'm in right now. But it would be nice to be able to go in there and say, look, you can see what I can see, and we need to drop down.
I suppose how do I put it? The only other way that I can see why they don't then is, for argument's sake, you've got a new team that comes in and they don't know who they are from the last couple of years, and they get chucked in at the bottom league, and they're a very good team, and they go and like smash it.
Yeah,
that's the only way I can see why they wouldn't, possibly. But this conversation is really difficult because you don't want to come across, because we're a good team, that we want it because we're going to be top. That's not the case. I think it's just,
well, I'm not.
No, I think it'd just be nice to see, because like next year, technically, if we carry on a year up, we'll see it.
Yeah,
because it'd be competitive.
Yeah,
but then I don't playing a year up. Technically, I shouldn't see it.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? And this is where there's like grey areas with everything.
Yeah,
because obviously you also get girls can play 2 years up, 2 years down. They can play 2 years either direction.
Well, we've played them, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Poor Kobe's playing against kids 3 years older than him.
Near enough, yeah.
Oh, should we say that?
Yeah, literally, because there was one girl that was early September.
Yeah, so she's like 13.
Yeah, and Kobe just turned.
He had just turned 9
in the end of August. So yeah, there's literally nearly a 3 year stretch.
Yeah. It was mad, that, and you could see it in the height as well. But
definitely.
But yeah, if you could go 2 years in either direction, suddenly it begs the question, you know, why? What if a girl's playing 2 years down? Well, she would normally be able to see her results if she was in a, you know, that's a funny way of looking at it.
I would like to know the people that watch this pod what their thoughts are, because we do speak to a few, and I would like to think that we've all got similar like values with it. Then, if that's the
I think, well, it's funny, isn't it? It's like you said before, you've got a lot of like football parents, you know, it's like ex-players and things like that.
Yeah.
Whereas, well, I'm now down another ex-player, but I don't have all footballing parents. A lot of it is just their kids absolutely love the game. I mean, they all get stuck in as parents, but whether they have the same opinion, I probably don't think they care. But I don't think they'd care either way.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to know whose idea it is, really. I don't know. Can anyone shed light on it? Because I don't know who decided, actually, these kids shouldn't be seeing these scores. Perhaps it's somewhere.
But like I said earlier, maybe if you was given the choice at the start of the season whether you wanted to do a competitive league or a non-competitive league, because there's another argument for it. Then, when you go to tournaments, like last year, I would say 8 out of 10 of the tournaments we did was competitive. You had scores, you had a league table,
and
I'm pretty sure there was goal difference on that.
Yeah, there was. Yeah,
so
Long Levens and stuff like that, they had goal difference.
I don't want to come across, but what's the difference in tournament football and competition football, as in a cup, to a league?
Well, usually for my team, like 8 or 9 goals.
But that's if you are what would you say, like a mid-level team, you can still enter a competitive competition.
Yeah, and it's nice to see where you're at as well, isn't it?
And if the league have structured it how the league should structure it, most of the teams in them leagues should be equal, shouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, you know what's got to happen ultimately, don't you?
Give us
root league, the grassroots league. So what we're going to do, I think what's just come to me actually is maybe your bottom 2 leagues are your non-competitive, and then, like you say, you get that option. Would you like to go into the competitive league?
Yeah.
And then that's going to separate a lot of the stronger teams. Will go, yeah, I want to compete.
Because, like I said,
trophy.
It goes on where your team are. If you're a strong footballing team, you're going to want to compete in a competitive
You'd think
league.
so. You'd think so. I mean, personally, I've had it in my own experience of football, when we all know the team, I think, when I say what has happened, but they would get to a point and then fold and restart in the bottom league and work their way up again, winning all of the trophies, like winning the league each time by ridiculous amounts as well. Yeah, and it happened so regularly, it wasn't an accident, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a difficult conversation to have, but I'd just be interested to know what people think on this.
Yeah, and hopefully we have the cojones to ask them about doing it, and then we can come back to you with it. But you will find out soon whether or not we do.
How are we looking?
We got 4 minutes, so
4 minutes.
Would this be a good point to wrap up?
Yeah,
Warm.
literally.
It's cold in this pod office.
We got some insulation in here.
Well, it's warmer than you think. I mean, you've got to remember it's like -3 outside, so yeah,
But it
winter has
comes,
set in. Right.
Well, before we go, going on to the weather, there's a likelihood that there ain't going to be a lot of action this weekend.
No, I think in fact that might be the perfect thing to talk about when we get back, because there could be a bit of chat in this.
Because the pitches by us are white.
They are as well.
They are white.
They're
They're frozen over.
It's so pretty, but
It's beautiful. But
yeah, right.
which means we get a week off pitch marking.
Maybe.
I did come up with a few ideas of get around it, but
Yeah. Right, we're gonna take a little break, and we'll be back for part 2 shortly. Welcome back to part 2 after our little break and our thrilling.
we are even colder. I'm just going to move that over slightly.
Oh, okay. Welcome back again. Truth be told, that's just proven to me just how much we do for grassroots football, because my God, that was dumb. We could tell you everything now that the Severn Valley League want to do, but I'm going to start with a big shout out to Zane.
Yes.
And ZS1 goalkeeper coaching. Up the Blues, pal. Yeah, he's currently doing a thing called Goalkeeper Awards, which is helping to bring a bit of recognition to goalkeepers, because they are, do you want to say, unsung heroes of football?
Yeah, and it's been brought up in the pod a few times, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I've always said it's the hardest position on the pitch.
Yeah.
You know?
Apart from being the coach or the ref.
And it's nice to see that somebody's willing to do it and put the effort in for that. So, and like I've said many a times that I probably don't do enough with my keepers. So, Zane, get on down the forest.
Yeah, like and subscribe, pal. Love it. Well done. So, turns out I do have some cojones. Did manage to ask the questions we wanted to ask. That's all good.
We didn't get the answers we wanted.
Did not get the answers. Well, actually, there is a little bit of give. So the first thing is the league table.
Yes.
That we've just been talking for 15 minutes about. That's a big no.
Yeah.
That's a big no from the FA. Also, we've changed the lighting, so this is really going to look like a completely different pod. But
we are cold.
Yeah, I'm actually using that light as a heater. So, yeah, it turns out it's blanket FA rule, development football, which is anything from under 12s down, so under 11s and down, basically. There are no league tables.
Nope.
Not to be visible by coaches or anyone. Simple as that. So we apologise for wasting your time with the bit before.
But at least we know, and we can spread the word to you guys, because I think it's, like I said, we've had many conversations with it, and now we know. Yeah,
but football's also an opinions game, and it's also an evolving game. So if we want to storm the gates and riot and say we want a league table, let's get behind the pod, and we'll get there. We'll get there. It's a grassroots movement.
Yeah.
So the next thing was what could be slightly good news for me. So I'd asked if it's possible for us to perhaps move leagues, because realistically, even going in the bottom half of the table, we're going to get dumped. So they said if I dropped it into an email, there may be some flexibility, but also if I managed to get a team to swap with me, and I know you're listening, Nussy. So any chance, pal? Let's make this happen. Give you guys a test and give my guys a break.
Yeah, well, hopefully that could be a positive rest of your season, then, can it? Really?
It could be. I mean, we could get tumped there as well, but let's see what happens. It could benefit my other team, but that's for me to know and them to find out, I think, at the moment.
Yeah.
Keep scratching my head. I do not like wearing a hat, but I've got to say thank you, Bradfords, because these Movember hats, they're helping to keep me warm. It is
so cold.
It's -3 out there. It's -7 in here. It's chilly It's chilly, even with a dry robe on.
Yeah.
It's a cold one. It's a cold one, but that's a very positive. Some positive takes from what was quite a long
hour meeting.
Yeah, that was drawn out. That was.
Some of them have got another hour.
Yeah. Enjoy that, Chase.
Yeah.
How do you think they took to us in that? So we're the only ones with our camera on, apart from some guy who had blurred the rest of the background, just showed the back of his head.
Yeah. Must have had a fresh shave.
Yeah, I think he's just showing off his skin fade. But
shout out to Jim as well.
Shout out to Jim.
Inspiring words.
Yeah, very, very much so.
He strikes me as a guy that's been in the game quite a while.
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He was trying to emphasise that all these kids need a chance. Rotation of players in cold weather. So that's something that, you know, I always think about it. And we've talked about it before, like goalkeepers especially. Zane will tell you all about it. They
that's two, now.
That's two, mate. Yeah. They at times, well, Winnie's had it a lot where his keeper hasn't had a lot to do. Yeah. Luckily for me, little Arlo, that boy has more work to do than our striker. So, or false nine.
You're never getting away from it.
I don't want to, mate. I'm telling you now, I'm a tactical genius, and we would be losing 25-0 a match if it was not for me. Maybe more if I let Mass stay in charge.
But going slightly off topic, what we're saying, them guys, like, we know that they do a lot for youth football.
Oh, so much.
But I did not realise that what they do behind the scenes, in the sense of go through every single match card.
Yeah. So
that's mad.
So we're going to apologise to the Severn Valley League right now on behalf of Cam. So match cards need to be submitted, mate, by Wednesday evening at the very latest. Now, I personally, I'm new to all of it, realistically, but I am not new to posting my fixtures to my parents on Hedger, and not new
another plug,
Hedger. Oh my god! Last War as well, not a bad game. Turns out I've ended up spending a little bit of time on that. Yeah, so I got it from Winnie, and a parent of his had said something about it, and the fact that I hadn't posted a roundup of the game. So now on Hedger, I endeavour to make sure there's a roundup of the game certainly by Sunday.
Yeah.
Partly because you forget a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I've just found out that we now need to be statos on the side of the pitch, because when you get to under 13s, you've got to put in your subs, your cards, but they don't want all the goal scorers all the time, so because the kids' names aren't mentioned on there. Simple as that. So
like I said, I didn't realise that they do that. I knew they did a lot, but not that much. She said like 230 odd.
I thought she said 200. It was either 238 or 280 something. So it's an awful lot of teams' results coming in. I receive a text. Winnie receives a text. Yeah. Everybody in the league receives a text. You put your result by text, and then you are then you then have to upload it to what is full time. They also have an app called the Matchday app,
which I personally really like.
Yeah, I really like it. Day one of it this season was...
Yeah, but I think that was just because everyone was trying to get on.
And also I was in McDonald's at the time, and everyone in McDonald's was trying to do it, so we were all like on McDonald's Wi-Fi. It didn't work very well.
I find the well, they call it the desktop one, don't they? The online, through the Safari then. I find that really complicated.
Or Internet Explorer, whichever web browser you'd like to use.
I find it really complicated. At least on the Matchday app, you literally, one click, your fixture's there, you put your... Yeah. Select your team and stuff like that.
Yeah, and actually, does that team, it says that the squad list is going to get submitted, does that go to the parents then? Because they obviously all...
Technically, they do.
Yeah, so they'll all receive it then.
So what I'm aware of then, what we use on Hedger, you can actually use that on the Matchday app.
Yeah.
But I find it a lot easier on Hedger, basically.
So, again, another plug. And we will go over to using the Matchday app if you don't sort this out. All we're asking for is free subscriptions across our multitude of teams.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
And we will get all our...
Because I think I pay £18 a month. Something along those lines. It is a lot, isn't it? And that's to...
Are we on the wonk here?
Well, I think the camera did something when that notification came up.
That's like...
Okay, we're back on the
level. I'm not sure what happened there, but we seem to be a bit more straighter.
Yeah. Well, I've always been straight.
Not looking like
You can't see my tash now in this light either. I look clean shaven. There you go. Look at the shadow on that. Yeah, so we didn't realise quite how much work goes into the league. So our grassroots league will take a little bit more thinking about. But it's coming. Don't you worry about it. That'll happen. I'm telling you now.
So yeah, we do got to say thank you because
a big shout out to them. And whilst we're saying, we joke and say, "Oh, that was a dull old meeting," they have to go through these things.
Yeah.
Questions get asked constantly, and I get constant questions from parents. Jason gets constant questions from me. Nicola gets constant questions from me. You get constant questions from me. Everyone gets constant questions from me.
I think it's just because you like to talk.
I don't think that's a thing. So they do have to go through all these things. They do have to get everybody on the same page, and we all have to sing from the same songbook, basically. And I think actually it seems like everyone is on that. I didn't see any.
No.
Well, I didn't see many people talk at all. There were 70 odd people in there, though. I was surprised at how many people they'd get in.
How many Broadwell?
No, there wasn't many Broadwell.
We have a shout out for Broadwell anyway.
We got a shout out in there for Broadwell and for the Grassroots Pod, and a quick like and subscribe. And again, Zane, well done with your like and subscribe comment, mate. Perfect.
Keep passing the pod, mate.
Keep passing that pod. That's what we need to do, really. We need everybody on there subscribes. We might hit the 500 by the end of the night.
Oh.
Can you imagine? That would be big, wouldn't it? That would be big. YouTube, baby. Yeah. So that's basically what we got for you with that. I suppose a quick chat about what we did say we'd talk about was condition of pitches this time of year. So we're coming into winter, or winter's
here now.
Winter just hit us quite by surprise as well. It went from 14 degrees one day to 3 the next.
Tell you what, the forecast ain't very. I can't say the word. Accurate. So initially we were supposed to have a load of snow Tuesday, which we didn't get. We got a lot of rain in the forest. Some places did get a lot of snow up north by the looks of it. So probably a few games called off there. And then today we had a bit of snow. Yesterday we had an awful lot of snow. It came down. Well, the pitches are white.
The pitches are completely covered. They look beautiful, but unfortunately that will make them unplayable because we've got some proper cold weather coming in. It's going to be like ice. Yeah. I did a little bit of looking into this last season to see if I'd be allowed to play on the snow because I love it. And why would you call a game off because of snow? I got orange balls.
Yeah,
we're sorted. And it turns out it's just as long as people can get there safely, and there's no welfare issue on that front, and you can clearly see the lines. So all you got to take with you is a kettle, and you're sweet.
Yeah. That's
the one, isn't there?
Get some blue marker, we're well away.
Blue marker, perhaps. Yeah. So whilst a lot of games will be called off, I will. Well, with probably a stinking hangover this Saturday.
We're both away, though, aren't we?
Yeah, but what if they try to reverse the fixture?
Oh.
Then I will endeavour to get the game on, guys. Don't you worry.
Unfortunately, I can't.
You can't, can you?
No, both the 9v9 pitches are in action. Wow. At the moment. But we're both due to play against Huckercote. So Winnie's got their under 11s. I've got the under 10. Apologies as well. Last week, I think I said I've got the Hawks. I do not have the Hawks. I have the Falcons this time. Falcons.
Yeah. Another tough game.
Another tough game.
but we might not lose this weekend. Because it might get caught up. Yeah, so hopefully he did say the pitch is a bit touch and go up there. I was in Cheltenham today and there was snow up on the tops, but it was a lovely sunny day actually. It was just
hasn't got above freezing.
No, not once. Not like you can see my breath anyway. Yeah, that's another thing was discussed today. No vaping in front of children. On the sidelines, please, guys. It's a big thing. It's a non-negotiable with the league. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stay safe.
Yeah, like you said. It was a good meeting, really.
It was.
We did learn a few things. Things was discussed, and well, you got some positive out of it potentially.
Potentially, yeah. And the one thing that was discussed was the lack of referees again.
Yeah,
wasn't it? And
I think that's not just grassroots, is it? That's throughout senior football.
Grassroots, senior football, still grassroots.
Well, yeah, and you can see why People don't want to do it, can't you?
No, I got called the best ref the kids had ever had, and then I got a lovely text actually, didn't I?
Yes, you did. And the red just got even bigger.
Yeah, it did, saying that the parents thought that my commentary was fantastic. So
I did hear through that meeting they say if you're running the line, you're not technically supposed to coach.
Yeah, or reffing.
Or reffing. Now, which I find really difficult for our age group, especially. Now, they say because if you're doing that, you're not fully concentrating, which I can kind of see it, but...
Not fully concentrating on the game, remember?
But, you know, some of them need... Like, for us then, I'm not saying getting used to it because we've played enough games now, but they're still kids. They're still kids, and they're still learning the offside rule.
Still learning the game.
We're only a couple of months into it, so they still need a little bit. So I find that very difficult.
I find it difficult for not just my own players, though, but for the oppositions as well.
Yeah.
Like, many a time I've told them to retreat back all the way to their goal mouth.
So basically, what we're saying to parents is we are not supposed to be anywhere near the centre circle for reffing or running the line.
Yeah. So could you please just pick up that flag, pick up that whistle, get on that pitch?
Like I said before, I'm really fortunate with my lot, my parents. They are good. They will do the line for me, and they have stepped into ref. And shout out to Mass because he refed for me on Saturday.
He did, yeah. After having to be on the sidelines for me, whilst I made that incredible performance as a referee, he then went over to ref Winnie's game, and what a job he did of it as well. Made sure that the opposition won. So well done, Mass.
I said, "Cheers, Mass." He went, "It's easy." Okay. But yeah, that was actually one of the first times where I was very unorganised with sorting a ref out.
It's not like you, actually. It's too much stuff about the pod, isn't it? It's not good, is it? Like, you don't realise how much this takes over our life. How much, like, football is taken over, then the pod takes over. There's no room for anything else. Winnie's on the back end of a divorce right now.
I'm not really. We're not in the shed for any other reason. I'm sleeping out here.
Welcome to Winnie's new home.
She's let me have a light.
Hello, MTV, and welcome to my crib.
I just expected her to turn the Wi-Fi off.
Oh, God, can you imagine? Yeah, it's all right, meeting's done.
Nah, I'm very fortunate with Jade. She's very good.
Well, as we know, I've got no one.
So
do we end it there? Get on quickly on Tinder.
Yeah. No, like I said, we may not have much to talk about with this week's games because of potential postponements.
But we may have a couple of things for you.
Yes, we have got something in the pipeline.
Honestly, kids are going to love us, aren't they?
Yeah, and like, I don't want to go into too much depth yet and spoil it, but where we've got this stuff from, wow.
They've played a blinder, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've been fantastic.
Yeah, massively.
New partners of the pod. We've got a lot of people have been very, very generous, very welcoming to the pod, and really helped us out.
And we've had some good conversations, and I think people can see where we're trying to go with this.
Yeah.
And they want to support it, which is, it's great to hear.
And they're not just supporting us, the pod, or anything else like that. They're supporting the kids. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Just getting out there, innit?
One of those people is obviously Bradford's. We're going to keep plugging them because they have done a bit for the pod, and they really could do with some help raising money for Movember. I heard one of the branches has raised $2,500. Ross branch needs you. Okay, they need some money. I haven't even looked recently. We really need you to donate whatever you can, even if it's £1, just anything you've got.
Let's get the £1,000 and PJ will have another month of it.
I tell you what, I'll try and grow a beard. No, I won't. I regret my decision. I regret what I said. I won't do anything. I'm sorry. I'm done with challenges.
I've had this conversation at work. Now, many of you know I have gone very thin.
No, you haven't, though. You've got a better hairline than me.
It's very thin, but in the summer, I had relatively long hair and it all fell out. I said, because I shaved it, 3rd day into November, I might grow it for a year.
Well, you may as well, because the good thing is, when it grows, it's easy to cut because it just falls back out.
Well, I looked into that. Is it the Little Princess charity where you can donate?
You can donate your hair, yeah.
But I don't know if anyone want it because it's full of grey.
Do you know what I looked into actually? Turkey. Oh, I'm getting on that plane.
Oh.
I'm not going to show you my hairline. It's yeah. Thanks, kids.
Yeah. So going back to November, please out because whereas I don't actually mind it.
Yeah. No, he doesn't mind it. But the ironic thing about like we're growing Mo's for Bros, and this is all to raise awareness for mental health and to help give some money to the cause itself, because there's not enough like volunteers or paid people to talk to, and men need someone to talk to sometimes.
Yeah.
Luckily I got Winnie and you guys, but honestly growing this tash is having a severely poor effect on my mental health. And every day I look in the mirror and I say, you look like a 70s porn star. So it's not good.
Yeah, I brush my teeth in the morning before I go to work. I just give it the old and I walk out.
I don't.
So I've had Freddie Mercury, but the most common one is I look like Mario.
Yeah. I have not been told that I look like Luigi yet. No.
It's me.
It's a me, a Mario. It's a me, a Luigi. That's how I got them.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much wraps up everything.
Honestly, I want to get in there, get the kettle back on, and warm my feet up.
Yeah. What, on the kettle? Thick.
Yeah. But yeah, stay tuned because there is some big things happening. Probably in the next week or two, certainly for a competition that we are going to run.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big one, and we're not just saying this so you hang on. We are actually.
This is a big one. In fact, it's like a few big ones. Like this is massive. So please like, subscribe. Let's get it out there, and we will. Yeah, we'll have something up for you soon. Okay. Massive up the blues from me.
It's up the clarets from me.
Up the wow. Hat off in it. Oh God. Seriously though. Grassroot League?
Grassroot League.
I think so. It's not that much admin because we won't have 280 people. I think.
Yeah.
I think if we can get like 100 teams, and all we got to do is make an app. I know some people. We could do this.
There's that one there.
I wonder if Nicola fancies being the secretary for that. Do you reckon?
I'll give it Jason. You
Give it Jade. Oh, we're still going, right? Yeah. Up the wall.